Everything you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes only. Listen, have some fun, but don't ever do, believe, or promote anything they say. They're idiots.
Guys, hold up. You should know, this ain't for everybody. Welcome to Savagely Loud. What's happening, people? Guys, welcome back to the show for the people that understand the facts. Divided by feelings equals failure. I'm Cliff, I'm your host, and I'm joined again today by Big Dave Anderson, the Viking, my co-host. And I'm also joined by a good friend of mine. But before we get to him, you know the drill. If you want to help me out, get these words out, get these truths out, you can follow me at Savagely Loud on Instagram is where I'm most active. And on that page, you're going to find two links. One of those links is to a simple link tree. Anywhere you want to hear my rants, see my bullshit, you can find it there, easy peasy. The other link you're going to find is a link to the Savagely Loud podcast page on Instagram. If you could please follow me there too, it would be greatly appreciated, as that will inevitably be my backup page. Outside of that, Facebook, X, and Rumble at Savagely Loud, YouTube at Savagely Loud Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe. You can email me in at savagelyloud@gmail.com, and I strongly suggest you do. And last but not least, guys, please, for the love of all the things that you love, don't forget to like, comment, and share the material. Rate and review the shows, Apple, iTunes, and Spotify. It really, really, really does help us break into the algorithm. So everything that you like hearing and everything that you believe other people should hear, help us out, rate and review the show, and then they'll start hearing it. That all being said, Big Dave Anderson, the Viking, how we doing today?
I'm doing great, man. It's a beautiful day, so I have no complaints, man. Spring's right around the fucking corner.
I'm glad you're back. You were a little under the weather on Saturday. We did a show. I did a show with a couple of dudes breaking some corruption in New Jersey, but you're a little under the weather, so I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're feeling better. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Y'all can find me on social media at The Hammer Drops. I'm heavily active over there on Instagram and Facebook. In the bio, you'll find two links. One link that's going to take you to the website, thehammerdrops.com. The other will be a link tree where you can click on that. It'll take you to all the other crevices that you can find me across the internet. And while you're watching this over on YouTube, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, like, and share the video. It helps us to break those algorithms up there and over at YouTube as well.
Oh, I sure do like finding prizes in crevices, don't you? I know another guy that likes to find prizes in crevices. Dominick Izzo is with us today. How we doing, my brother?
How deep we going?
As deep as we can, baby.
2 knuckles? Oh, that's it. That's good. That's couch material.
That's couch material. Why don't you let everybody know where they can find you, Mr. Dominick Izzo?
Well, number one, thanks for having me. Number two, it's not a beautiful day out here. What's it, like 20 degrees so far again out here in the sultry Midwest of Illinois' ass crack. I'm Dominick Izzo. Just find me. Dominick Izzo over on social media. Do a Google search and you'll find me, is what it is. If you see that I'm some convicted felon from New Jersey, that's not me. That's another guy.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, guys, I have Dominick Izzo here today because we're going to talk about a lot of fucking shit that, I don't think that a lot of people are they're not really seeing, they're not really acknowledging, and they really don't want to hear about it. And that's having to do with the shootings of ICE and all the kind of operations that we're seeing, and this giant wave of controversy and turmoil that seems to be sweeping the nation over these things, over these, we can call them what they are, these pieces of shit dying. And I want to break this down because now I've taken a vastly different stance than most of the internet, okay? So most of the internet is either in one of two camps. It's either that should have never happened, or we need to have that happen more. And I find myself dead center between them. Like, while I don't care that a piece of shit died, I do care on how he died and why he died, that shouldn't have happened. And the way it happened shouldn't have happened the way it did. So let's start with, let's go back to the Renee Good thing, because I know you did a lot of content on this. Because you are the fucking dude. You're one of the very few, if not only fucking like ex-cops, retired cops on the internet that actually look at things from a logical perspective, from a duty-born perspective. This is how we operate. This is how we should operate. And this is sometimes what we have to do during operations. And you have the ability to divide those up into categories and say, okay, while this is wrong, this is right. So let's go back to the Renee Good thing. And let's start with an overarching hypothesis. What's your overarching take on the generalization of the Renee Good situation? She's the one that got shot in Minneapolis in the Honda Pilot.
I think it's political theater. I think two or multiple things can be true at the same time. It's 20 degrees out here in Chicago. It's freezing. It's sunny outside. We're in wintertime, and I have to go to the gym. Those are like 5 things that are all true. 6, I'm on a podcast right now. Those are 6 things that are all true, right? So you could take those things and have them in a reality. You can have an immigration enforcement task that was being done, and it could have been done poorly, and a citizen could have been obstructing. A citizen could have been exercising her First Amendment right, and a citizen could have been murdered by law enforcement. Several damn things had to be true at the same time. This was one of those situations that really fucked things up for law enforcement, and it's a pain in the ass right now. So, I mean, and I've broken it down in a ton of different details about how you have the shooting itself, the necessity of the shooting, both political sides. Well, she was a liberal or the conservative, all this. It blows me away and how absolutely asinine we are as a country right now over politics. This is nothing more than politics.
I 100% agree with you. Political theater all the way across the board. And it was proven to me, in my mind, by the fact that she was a paid political agitator. Like, she was getting paid to be out there. Otherwise, she wouldn't have given a fuck. She wouldn't have been out there if she didn't get paid. But now, since she's out there, let's start at the beginning because I mean, I'm honest with everybody. I don't know the laws. I know how I feel about some shit. I know what I think about the laws. And that's a very important distinction, I think, between, some people and most people is I know how I think about the law, but I also understand that could be not correct. So let's just start in the beginning where ICE is conducting their operation. They're on boots on the ground. They're on the streets. They're going house to house. Where does the legality play in what she was doing? As far as the film goes that I saw, or the clips that I saw, it started all out with her blocking traffic. And she was parked sideways in the middle of the road in her Honda Pilot. Where does the legality start there?
So in my assumption, now I know nothing about federal law enforcement, what they're able to do. What I'm under the impression of is that ICE has no authority over American citizens. That's got to start there. The onus on this falls solely with the municipal cops, right? And I've said this a million times. In the last several years, we've seen the American police officer is not on the side of the oath they swore. So we've had, and to qualify this, we had the Black Lives Matter riots, Antifa riots several years ago. Cops stood down. We watched cities burn. You had CHOP. You had cities that were overtaken. And granted that it was a couple of blocks, but these were cities that were overtaken. We fast forward into the pandemic. You had your cops that followed orders. And all of a sudden, if you were going to church not wearing a mask, you were arrested. You owned a gym, you were getting arrested. You went to the gym, you went to a parent-teacher public forum, and you got arrested if you weren't wearing a mask. And cops showed their true colors. The problem I'm having with now is they're doing the same damn thing. The Renee Good shooting would never have happened if police were involved. And every time somebody says ICE or police or Border Patrol's police, it's a slap in the face to law enforcement. So number one, you have a separation. It's federal. Federal, in my experience as I was a cop, never tell police, local cops, anything. And they would have, Illinois, every state has local offices for FBI, DEA, and some of your guys from your department are on your task force, and you never hear shit about what's going on. Was never uncommon for Johnny to be on the road with us for 3-4 years. All of a sudden, next thing you know, he's been assigned to a task force and he's gone for 2-3 years. And you're like, holy shit, where have you been? I've been working with the DEA at O'Hare Airport doing X, Y, and Z. Oh, and we still pay you. Wow. Feds never communicate with municipalities. Fuck, your county. Your county never does.
I was going to say.
Oh, yeah. County's ridiculous. Like, I've talked about this many times. We had Lake County MEG, Metropolitan Enforcement Group. They were drug unit, all this. They never told you shit. MEG would say you could be writing a report in Big Lots on Rollins Road. Just, try to make yourself visible so people see not to speed. And you're and a black Impala, get out of here. We're doing shit. What? Which literally happened to me. Brian Peters, you remember what you did. Anyways, so they never tell you shit. So the biggest problem and how you would have ended this is you have three entities. You got the American people who are allowed to protest whatever they want to, paid or unpaid. These people didn't give a shit about this either because illegal immigrants have been here for centuries. You know, I mean, it is what it is. And then you've got ICE who's trying to get rid of them. Then you have the police. The police should have been on scene. ICE should have coordinated and said, hey, we're going to 123 Main Street. We need this road blocked off, this road blocked off. Let us do our job. We're out of here. If cops had showed up and then less protested and, hey, you can't walk down here for the next 20, 30 minutes or hour, that Renee Good would have been alive today. As far as the shooting goes, here's my take on it. And we're operating on if ICE has no authority over an American citizen. She was murdered, flat out. She blocked the roadway. Did she? Did she really? She was parked in a manner where cars could still get around. Maybe it was a 2-lane road and they could have gone around her, which a car did, at least, that we saw. ICE cannot seize somebody for breaking a traffic law. That's a state crime. So ICE should have called up the municipal police and said, hey, get over here and get this brought out of here, write her a ticket, tow her car, arrest her. Oh, but she impeded. She obstructed his investigation. That is the easiest way to articulate that you're impeding my investigation. You're jumping up and down, hollering, waving in my face while I'm looking for John Doe. I'm going to hook you up for impeding. It's the federal government's disorderly conduct version. They can arrest you for anything you articulate it. Can we talk about the, she hit him with the car? Wow. This is an analogy I used to some people. Now, I am an expert at kinetic energy delivering from one human being to another, which is a fancy word of saying I know how to fucking fight, and I actually teach it. If I stand in front of you and I hold a baseball bat, and you're 5 feet, there's a 5 feet gap between you and I wind that thing up and I swing it, you're going to be like, damn, I'm going to get hit. This is going to suck. If you are nose to nose with me, literally touching nose, our groins are touching, our toes are touching, and your hands are on the bat and I swing it, you're going to be like, really? You're not going to be in any apprehension of being hit. You may be pushed by the force. That guy didn't get fucking hit by a car. He got pushed. Could it be deadly? Sure. Should she have been shot? Abso-fucking-lutely not. And the problem I'm having with law enforcement is every cop out there knows, I wouldn't have fucking done that. Oh, no, I wouldn't. But they all want to hang their hat on defending it because they're terrified about the time. If it does happen to them, they want that same fucking justification. Should she be arrested? No. Absolutely not. Not by ICE. Municipal cops come up, hey, move your car, I'm going to tow it. That would have solved the problem. But she's paid. She got murdered. She got fucking murdered by federal governments. And in my view, since we're all vilifying her, and I'm not a liberal, I'm no longer a conservative, I'm an independent. They're both ridiculous off their ass.
Amen, brother. Far middle. Amen.
I don't care what she was doing. We all vilify her. Well, she was a bad mom. She did this. Well, let's talk about the cop for a second, or I said he wasn't a cop. Let's talk about the ICE agent for a second. Well, apparently he's a devout Christian. So how do we know that he wasn't pissed off or biased towards LGBTQ and he's like, you guys scissor and that's against my God and what I want and I'm fuck these lesbian dykes. His wife is a legal immigrant. How do we know he wasn't biased towards people defending illegal immigrants? And how many hours did he work that week? Sitting in the same fucking clothes, 12-hour shifts. He has to piss in a minivan. If you wear that much gear in wintertime, you're freezing your ass off when you're outside, then you're boiling when you're in a car. There's no comfortable middle. How do we know that he didn't just sit there and say, fuck this? I know I can get away with it. I'm going to. So we all talk about the intent for her, but nobody ever talks about the cops and what they do when they're shooting. So it was a bad shoot. He's going to get away with it lawfully, and this shit's going to get continued, and it's all done politically.
I like that you brought up the fact, your whole analogy of if you're holding the bat and we're nose to nose, because I'm a car guy. My whole fucking life has been built around building cars, custom cars, and repairing cars that have been in impacts. I'm a fucking structural specialist when it comes to fucking cars. So I can tell you, watching the footage that I saw of the agent getting hit, that wasn't getting hit. And we found the proof that this is all political theater a little later on when everybody said, well, he didn't get fucking hit. Like she pushed him, why the fuck did he walk in front of a car? Blah, 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 blah. Then they released that statement. Well, he has massive internal bleeding. The fuck he does. I am a goddamn pro when it comes to that.
No, you're wrong. He does have internal bleeding, which is actually clinical terms for bruising.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. So you got a bruise. So yeah, but the way they conveyed it was much in the same way that Kristi Noem and Kash Patel conveyed the Preddy guy, Alex Preddy or Stephen Preddy or whatever the fuck his name was. You know, he approached with a gun, and yeah, okay, so technically she's not wrong because he did have a gun on him, but she willfully made it sound to the people like he approached the officers with it drawn, pointed at him. You know, yeah. So
he's another one. He's another one who was murdered. And I've been posing this question lately for people and making them extremely uncomfortable. And there's a lot of people with potato salad for brains who can't fucking hear what I'm saying when it comes to this. Preddy, literally dancing in the street, directing traffic. I don't care. I never have had 7 guys go on one guy for being in the street causing a disturbance. Unfucking believable. If you look at what Preddy went through, disarmed, pepper sprayed, disarmed, shot and killed. I argued this on several other podcasts the other day, which is I think that was a pure case, constitutionality wise, for the use of the Second Amendment. If the Second Amendment is the right to keep and bear arms, and in that sentence, there is nowhere that says use it. It only says the right to keep and bear. It doesn't say and deploy. So number one, and I know we have to dive in deeper for that conversation, but if it's for an American citizen to keep themselves safe against a tyrannical government, isn't exercising your First and Second Amendments lawfully, especially in a state that allows you to, and then being attacked by law enforcement, pepper sprayed by law enforcement, disarmed by law enforcement, isn't that the textbook definition of a time when the Second Amendment should have been used?
Yeah. 100%.
What law did he break?
Well, that's the problem and that's what's drawn me a lot of heat is he didn't break any fucking laws by having his gun. Why? And the funniest thing that I find is how the liberals, and this is why I'm so far in the middle, like I'm so far fuck your teams, because the teams keep flip-flopping. So when Kyle Rittenhouse, granted, different situation, kinda, but when Kyle Rittenhouse popped off, all the fucking liberals were like, why the fuck did he have a gun at a protest? And all the conservatives were like, he's well within his right to have a gun at a protest. And now that the fucking liberals got fucking that the ICE agents are becoming under fire, all the conservatives are like, why the fuck did he have a gun at a protest? Like, you guys are a fucking joke.
It's worse. The blue check marks that are MAGA, that are on Twitter with the millions of followers, were calling anytime they see a liberal or somebody who's assumingly a liberal. And they clearly, if a person is overweight or a person dresses differently, that person is clearly a liberal to them. They are openly calling for criminal charging on people who are exercising their Second Amendment constitutionally. And it is unbelievable the amount of conservatives who go, you're right, no, Second Amendment bad. This is the biggest bizarro world time in history, watching the party of less government demand more government. It's insane.
Yeah. And it's like, and I love the argument, like, he didn't need to have a gun. He didn't need to have a gun. Why would he bring a gun? Bitch, you're going to a protest. That's a dangerous fucking place. That's a great place to have a gun, if you ask me. I mean, like I always say, people are like, well, would you have brought a gun? And I tell them, I'm sitting in my basement studio with a fucking pistol in my belt right now with an extra magazine. Both my fucking doors are locked. My windows are locked. I got guns on every entrance. Every fucking room of the house has got guns and knives in it. And I'm still sitting at my fucking desk with a gun on my hip because it's my fucking right and I feel safer that way. There you go.
Yeah. Dave, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but it's the mental gymnastics that these motherfuckers are doing now is just appalling. It really is appalling to just have everything just flip-flopping all the fucking time, and for all these retarded motherfuckers to just not see that this is the game. This is the game they want us playing so that they can just keep on doing whatever the fuck they want to do. You know?
Well, I mean, for the longest time, you had the left calling for stricter gun control. Now you kind of see it on the right now. You know, conservatives are calling for it because of what's been happening.
Well,
they're asking for the same fucking thing now. It seems like.
I'm surprised. Shouldn't you, as a conservative, find all of a sudden your opposition arms themselves? Shouldn't you go, hey, listen, I know we've had our differences in the past. I know it's a touchy situation, but now do you understand and see the importance of embracing the Second Amendment? Shouldn't you be going and supporting an argument that way instead of, oh, liberals aren't responsible enough to own guns? Conservatives are, and it's specifically these MAGA Republicans. And make no mistake, I voted for Trump. I voted for him in twice, 2 elections. I did not vote in 2016. This was the first time I ever voted, was 2020. And I'm dumbfounded that this is the party of Christian values, of which I'm a Christ follower, but these people are fucking insane. And freedom, guns, America, unless you're an American who loves freedom and guns and your constitutional speech. And now we're into doxing and free speech censorship, even though we've condemned that forever. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, it's really radical to me to just watch all the stupid people fucking expose themselves. And I always go at the conservatives. Like, for me, liberals are easy target. It's like low-hanging fruit. Like, you're cliche, you're stereotypical liberal. Like, they're easily destroyed. It's not even fun. But going after the conservatives, they make it sporty, at least. They make it fun. And now I'm seeing all the conservatives argue for all the fucking points that the liberals were arguing just a couple of years ago. And a good friend of mine, he says, he's like, dude, conservatives ain't nothing but fucking liberals in slow motion. And that hit me so fucking hard, because it really is. Everything the liberals do, the conservatives do 5 to 10 years later. The liberals start this cancel movement. Everybody's getting canceled. And what did every conservative out there say? That's bullshit. You got freedom of speech. That doesn't mean consequences. I should be able to say whatever the fuck I want to, not lose my job, not lose my way of living, not lose my wife, lose my kids, all this other shit. And what have we been seeing for the last 2 years? We've been seeing the conservatives play the cancel game. Anytime 100%. Somebody says anything that they don't like, they fucking cancel them. And
I'll do school teacher out here and so. I've never celebrated. I never celebrated the death of anyone. Charlie Kirk, George Floyd, anybody. But I've never seen in the same breath conservatives. Just celebrating George Floyd's 50th year of sobriety, rotten hell, and then a tweet later, oh my God, this person made fun of Charlie Kirk. She works at 123 business, and we need to get her canceled. I'm like, oh, you're fucking vile human beings. I think conservatives, to be honest, are worse than liberals, because conservatives pretend to be virtuous. Liberals are who they say they are. So it's like they're the snake I'd rather lay down with.
That's what I say about the American government. The American government is by far, hands down, unequivocally, the most corrupt government on the face of the fucking planet. And the reason I say this isn't because there aren't other governments out there that are corrupt. Every single last government is corrupt. However, they tell you, they go, no, this is the fucking way it is. If you don't fucking like it, you can try to escape the country, but we'll probably shoot you on the way out. America says, oh no, everything's grand. We're going to do all this for your benefit. We're helping you. And then you're going, well, why the fuck do I keep losing more money? Why is my health deteriorating? Why is the quality of our air? Why is my house more expensive? What the fuck is happening? And it's because the American government is fully and wholly and solely based on fucking lying to the American people.
I call it the Great Muppet Caper problem. My life has always been referenced in movies, and the Great Muppet Caper was the second Muppet movie, and in there's Charles Grodin plays a man named Nicky Holiday, and the public, the viewing audience has learned very early on in the beginning, Nicky Holiday is the bad guy of the film, and his sister is Lady Holiday. Lady Holiday is the queen of the film, and she's wearing in one early on dinner scene they're at this very highfalutin black tie dinner club in England. Everyone's dancing, drinking champagne, and she sits down at a table, and she's got her fabulous diamond necklace on. She goes, I could feel thieves breathing down my neck. And he goes, thieves aren't breathing down your neck, as he breathes the word down her neck and he's the thief. It's like, that's the ultimate fucking gaslighting there. That's the American government. It's completely the same.
Yeah, don't do what you said you were going to do, or if you do a little bit of it and then completely go back on it in the shadows and then tell everybody how fucking stupid they are for believing it would ever happen in the first place. Like,
you're seeing that now. That is now with these Epstein files. Literally, it's pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Did you ever think you would live to see the party that brags about freeing slavery to now be the party that, no, these 5,000 mentions in these files doesn't mean anybody's a pedophile. I've never fucking seen this.
Oh, dude, it's absolutely fucking wild when it comes to that. And I've been in conversations about it for the last couple of weeks because, I've been going kind of hard at the conservatives because we need people to wake up here in this fucking country. We need to stop this two-party fucking bantering ping pong bullshit. We need the fucking American people versus the American government, not the American people versus the other American people. But I've been going at it really fucking hard. And I tell these motherfuckers, they'll come at me with everything. These Trump dick suckers. Oh, he's the fucking greatest. He's promises made, promises kept. Fucking where? I ain't seen a single fucking promise kept. He said he started out, and because we're talking about the ICE situation here, immigration. We'll take immigration, just that alone. He ran on full immigration. We're deporting every single person that is here illegally. And then he drew back on that and he said, we're only going to concentrate on the criminals. Then he drew back on that and said, we're going to get the most violent criminals, but at the same time, we're also going to import a bunch of H-1B visas because Americans are too fucking stupid to do smart people jobs. So we need all these people from China and India to come over here and do these smart people jobs. And in that moment, all of the American people were like, you need to fucking pull back, bro. What the fuck? Just train us. We can do the fucking job. You're just not training us. And then he goes, no. We still need the H-1Bs. We still need the H-1Bs. Well, then all of his friends, all of his business mogul friends that own all these giant corporations said, hey, if you take away our unskilled labor, we're going to fucking have to pay more money and we're not going to have as much wealth. So then Donald Trump says, okay, H-2B visas, that's for unskilled labor. We're going to keep the hospitality management, the people that fold the pillows and blankets and shit at hotels. We're going to keep the fucking retail workers. We're going to keep the low-end fast food workers. Also, my friends. So now you've went from deport everybody that is here illegally to not only barely deport anybody, but you're also now importing 600,000 Chinese students. I think 1.2 million Indians over the course of 4 years or something is the last whispers I heard. You've got all these fucking people that are keeping their jobs at McDonald's, Kohl's, Walmart, you have fucking hotels. So you're not really deporting anybody. And then everybody's like, well, it's 5D chess. It's 5D chess. That's,
oh God.
He's got to say it out loud so it works like that. And then I say this. I said, but what about the time he said you were fucking stupid? And he goes, and they always say, he never said that. And I said, well, he did, because he said that when it came to the Epstein files, because that's what immigration led to, because we thought in the beginning that the Epstein files were going to uncover this UK style open borders experiment. So everybody was talking about the immigrant thing when it come to the Epstein files. And I said, well, he said, if you think the Epstein files are real, if they're anything more than a Democrat hopes and you believe that, you're a foolish moron. And then he went on to say, if you think they're real, I don't want your vote. Motherfucker ran on releasing the files, and now he said that they're not fucking real, and you're stupid, and he doesn't want your support if you think they're real. How much mental gymnastics can somebody do to make this motherfucker the savior?
His consistency is what keeps him going, and he adopts. I didn't know anything about Trump really, outside of he's been on TV, and I'd never watched The Apprentice and all this kind of stuff. And I voted for him because I liked the shakeup, but I didn't like. I'm past the shakeup. It's like you went in, you said what you said, you insulted people, you spoke like a normal guy, but now it's got to go back to some type of professionalism and decorum, and that's just gone. I watched. There's two people I respect, and it doesn't mean I like them. I respect them when it comes down to being the best at what they do, and that's Roger Stone and Roy Cohn. And I interviewed Roger Stone many, many years ago. I actually liked the man. He treated me very well. He promised me 15 minutes of time and gave me an hour. It was incredible. Wow. And I watched before having him on, because they said, we booked Roger Stone for your show. I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. I watched the documentary. I'm like, oh my God, the documentary Get Me Roger Stone. Well, Roger Stone worked with Roy Cohn. And when they did that Apprentice movie for Trump, I watched bits and pieces of it on YouTube. I watched Jeremy, I think it's Jeremy Strong, play Roy Cohn. I'm like, who is this Roy Cohn? I mean, I remember as a kid hearing his name, but then I watched a documentary on Roy Cohn. Savage fucking lawyer. Ruthless. And he lived by 3 rules that he taught Trump, and Trump does them every single day. Rule number 1 is attack. Rule number 2 is never admit anything and deny everything. And rule number 3 is no matter what the outcome, always claim victory. He does it every single damn press conference, and the public loves it. You ask him a question that you don't like, you're a stupid reporter. You're the worst at CNN. Nobody's ever been. This is why your ratings are so bad. Attack. And they bring us something else up. Well, I wasn't in the files. No, I mean, it wasn't my, and you always admit victory. The files are out 5,000 fucking times plus mentioning his name. Well, if anything, the files vindicate that I'm fine. I'm clear. The files actually vindicate me. It's like, yeah. How stupid does your base have to be to go, hey, yeah, well, of course I fucked her, but that just proves I didn't rape her. I had sex with her. They are this fucking dumb. Yeah. So, yes, he does it, and he's really good at what he does.
Yeah, I noticed that when he was talking about the ICE agents, circling back to the Renee Good scenario, I noticed that because he had made a couple of fucking statements about, pro-ICE, and then they expected him to walk that back after it kind of came out that, like, hey, this motherfucker really didn't need to plug this bitch in the face, you know what I mean? Especially considering there was people around. You could have had a stray bullet hit a kid, anything like that. And then he didn't do it. He's like, my ICE agents are this and that and the other thing. But here's the big thing with that is that was the moment where it had something click in my brain where I was like, okay, this is the moment. This is where ICE isn't just immigration. This is where ICE is actually, he just let it out of the bag. ICE is becoming the private police fucking force for the American government, the American cabinet. Because we've seen this happen. We've seen this play out through history dozens and dozens of times where you introduce this police force and then yeah, exactly. Yep. And the black shirts in Italy, I've got it all pulled up. We can but
they're talking about deploying ICE at voting polls and voting stations when it comes down to the midterms. Everybody says this. It's like, I don't care what your view of World War II was or that era or Nazi Germany and the rabbit holes everybody went down to lately. When you have Greg Bovino, who in the name of God looked at the director of ICE and said, hey, yeah, as your PR rep, it's a good idea that you wear a Himmler-esque type uniform to a press conference. Now, number one, I like militarized uniforms. If you're in law enforcement, you should look sharp and professional, tie bar, X, Y, and Z. I think it's a little much when you get the strap across you. It's like you look like you're going to invade Poland, for the love of God. Yeah. Now, him and I have the same haircut. All he needed was the little fucking tiny mustache, and he was Heinrich Himmler. Yeah. And he's up on these press conferences talking. You're rallying your base. You're sowing division, and 100%. You have now. I've asked this a million times. We had during the Biden administration, all these conservatives condemning. We're bringing in all these military aged men across the border. Where'd they go? Who are these now men years later wearing masks with heavy accents that are going in and eradicating these people from? I think 100% the ICE, whatever this will become, will be the privatized force of the government.
Well, that's why we're seeing, I don't know if you heard the news, I'm sure you did because you're a very clued in individual, but that's why we're seeing now the ICE is going to actually be protecting the government, the cabinet when they go overseas. So when they, if you heard about the Olympics, when the Olympics come to whatever country they're going to, ICE is actually going to be the ones that are going to be guarding the presidential cabinet. It's not going to be the military. It's going to be ICE, the Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, which is, if anybody that doesn't know the difference between Border Patrol and ICE, Border Patrol is, to ultra simplify this, Border Patrol patrols the border. They're on the outskirts. ICE is that job inside the country. So why are you taking the people that do the job inside the country, and you're taking them outside of the country that literally has zero things to do with customs and immigration in the United States? Well, it's because it's going to be the privatized fucking police force for the cabinet. And the other reason I say this is because the masks. You know, there are some people making a big thing about the masks. I make a big thing about the mask. Why are you the only fucking police force in America that operates always in masks? It's because
no identity.
Yeah, because the fucking, you know, and on a psychological level, it's important for people to understand. You, whoever's listening to this, whoever's watching this, you are capable of great danger. You are capable of filthy deeds. And if you were to put on a mask, you would be able to commit those deeds, because then you would have the ability to remove yourself, remove the man from the execution, and you could just do all these mental gymnastics and divorce yourself from that reality. No, that person did it. That person was in the mask. The mask did that. This is all psychological fact. It's been researched for hundreds of years. This is why most of the worst fucking people on earth wore masks when they were doing their fucking deeds. Whether it be military, police, civilian, people wore masks. It's why murderers, actually like Ed Gein, made skin masks so that they could hide themselves, their own psyche, away from what they were doing.
Yeah.
It's here, and it's being ushered in by the party that wanted America great again.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. It is brilliant. And you have to look at, I always talk about that, the frog in the boiling pot of water. Mm-hmm. It's like, all you do is look at this. This was a great systematic play to create this. If the ultimate, excuse me, if the ultimate game was to, whatever, let's just say create a police force to take over whatever, well, just rewind. What better way to do that than to bring in an outsider, stir shit up, claim an election was stolen, rally your base. Then during the next administration, open up the floodgates of people that you're going to then leverage later on to move out and go, no, you have to create a problem to run on it. Yeah, we have to have Joe in for the next 4 years. We're going to open the border, flood people in. When you come back the next time, now you're going to go fucking 100 times harder at it. Then you're going to create more, and people are going to love you for it. Because if you rewind 2005, 2008, these illegals have always been here.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. It's just until your political leader, the guy you've never met, but for some strange reason, you flood your Facebook and Instagram with his pictures, and you change your profile picture to him. It's like, now obviously because he says these people are bad, you don't even know these people. It's amazing. Every argument you'll ever get in with somebody, the number one low IQ justification for retaliation is always, not all. I mean, these women are crazy. Not all women are crazy. And the cops are corrupt. Not all cops. The blacks are committing violence. Not all blacks. But isn't it amazing that in the last 2 months, all illegal immigrants are pedophiles and rapists?
Right.
Kristi Noem will go up to a press conference and talk about the 3,000 people they arrested that week, and she'll show 5 mugshots. I don't even know what the percentage of that is. It's not even 1% of the people you're arresting, and they're all rapists and pedophiles because of 5 people you put up online. It's a great psyop.
Well, when you're talking about... Go ahead, Dave.
I was just going to say, it's probably like 0.001% at best. I mean, let's just be honest.
Well, if we're talking percentages, let's talk about the real percentages that people don't know. ICE, of all the fucking arrests they've made, 74% of those arrests have been of American citizens. 74% of the people.
You're wrong. They're getting criminals. They're getting hardened rapist criminals off the street. You don't get it. I'm unfollowing you.
And then of that percentage, 40% of those have received some sort of bodily injury. And of the 40% that have received bodily injury, only an estimated 2 to 4% of them were an active threat of some sort. Quote, some sort. What the fuck does some sort mean?
Where'd they go? If they arrest 3,000 people, and I'm assuming it's like in a week, where are they at?
Yeah, nowhere. Yeah.
Where are they? Yeah, again, we want to talk about human trafficking. Well, congratulations. Our government just became the biggest human traffickers on the face of the world.
Bingo, bango.
Right. Yep.
What you got, Dave? I see you got your hand up there over.
Well, I was actually going to comment on that, about American citizens being arrested, because I've watched some videos. I watched some interviews that were happening. And, there was one of a Hispanic kid that got taken and dropped about, a couple miles.
8 miles.
Okay, it was 8 miles at the Walmart. He got his ass kicked, and he's walking back. And then I just saw another one. The wife showed me of this lady that was like handicapped in a wheelchair, driving, trying to get to her appointment up. I believe it was up in Minneapolis. They had her pull into a parking lot, told her to get out of the car. She really couldn't. They busted the fucking window, dragged her out.
Got her seatbelt on.
They carried her to the detention center and all this stuff, and she ended up waking up in like the hospital saying that she got assaulted.
Yeah, but nobody cares. But they vilify these people. So we wear masks so we could do these horrible, atrocious things. But now all of a sudden you could have a face of a Hispanic female just because she's brown on her way to a doctor's office, and you throw a buzzword. She impeded their investigation. All of a sudden, that woman is the enemy. That you've robbed her of her humanity, and you claim she's evil. These people, we deported all the time up in our area, and it was you arrest somebody for traffic violation, retail theft, domestic battery, and you found out they weren't here legally. Well, you sent them to county, and then county held them for, back then it was INS. And they removed this. This could be done easily. Deportation could be done by your municipal police every single fucking day. You just have the cops arrest them, put a hold on them in county, and your ICE comes by, pick them up. That's it. What ICE is doing on the street, it's terrorism. It is domestic terrorism.
I like what you posted the other day. I don't remember the exact quote, but you said something to the effect of, I voted for, I voted for, like getting shit straight. Yeah, law and order, not chaos and something else.
I voted for law and order, not chaos and confusion or something else. Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
And I like that. And I feel like that's exactly what they're doing. Because here's another aspect that people don't see. When you look at the overall map of the ICE activity across the United States of America, where do you see literally all 100% of the ICE activity happening? You see it happening in the bluest areas of the bluest states. Yes. What in the fuck could possibly be going through your mind where you would think that would be a good idea? You've got all these red states that still have millions of illegal immigrants in them that you could go to, and the entire communities would welcome you in. But instead, you go to the fucking most volatile, most unaccepting, unwelcoming, unloving fucking areas and try to make a statement in a massive way there. It's very voters. What's that?
Got to gain voters. He went to the states that didn't vote for him. Well, do you think that there's illegal immigrants in Texas or Florida?
Oh, that's full.
Oh yeah.
Go there.
Right.
Fucking go there. Do the same shit there in Texas with those gun-toting Americans as you're doing, and watch how fast Texas goes. Wait a fucking second. This is not how we should do this shit.
Well, and my thinking is if you really wanted to make a point, right? Let's say your point was that these illegal immigrants are all pieces of shit, pedophiles, rapists, and all this other shit. Don't you think the best way to prove that would be to give them the rope? Like I firmly believe you don't have to hang anybody. You just got to feed them the rope and they'll hang themselves. So why not go into all of the other states that have some crime and shit, clean it up there, and then let these fucking blue hellholes rot. And then you can actually point at saying, hey, we did all this. This is safe. This is safe. That's safe. This is safe. But those places ain't fucking safe. Why?
I don't understand why this was even an issue at all. You got sanctuary cities that typically the Trump voter doesn't live in. Not liberal Chicago, Minnesota. They're liberal, right? They're sanctuary cities. Why does the American MAGA give a shit what's happening there if they don't live there? You should say, hey, Trump, can you come down to, I don't know, Texas and whatever. I think, well, Houston is, I think, liberal. Austin is liberal. Why can't you come down to a Texas city and make that same type of show of force and go from there? You're not going to see it. Why is it that MAGA, from the comfort of their toilets while scrolling on their phone, give a shit what goes on somewhere they don't live? Blows me away.
Right. No. Well, and I think you even hit it on the head when you said that like federal agents don't talk with the local police or county police. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that will like try to point to that, saying that, well, the city police or the town police don't want to even like try to help ICE. But if ICE isn't making those calls for the reason when they're doing those things, that's why you don't have local police there.
Fuck them. They're the ones who that I hold all the contempt for, because you know what? And it happens all the time. The amount of cops I get in my DMs. Hey, brother, you're saying what we could and this and that and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you don't have my respect, because you're choosing to keep your job versus standing up for what you swore that oath for. Can you imagine I don't know what the manpower of is in Minneapolis. And I had a problem with the Minneapolis chief of police, because he hired, I think, it was some female DEI hire. She was a non-U.S. resident. How that's lawfully allowed, I have no fucking clue. And a couple of Somalis, fine, whatever. I don't agree with that. I can separate what I didn't like from what he did back then for what he's going through now. And I have empathy for him, but he should have looked at the mayor and said, fuck you. This is our town, our city, and we go at it. But then again, fuck the rank and file, because every one of them should have sat there and said, these are the streets I patrol every day. These are the businesses that I go get my coffee from. These are the kids I see, and I've got the federal government coming in and terrorizing my cities. At some point, when do the police stand up and say, sorry, Sarge, we are not standing down. Sorry, Chief, we have no confidence in what you're doing right now. This just shows, I've said it before, the police will never back we the people. They will back we the paycheck, and they're proving it once again.
Well, go ahead, Dave.
I was going to say, so do you think it's that it's the chief of police or the city officials that are telling these officers to stand down and stay out of the way?
100%. 100%. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Yes. These, cops can't stand wannabes, right? And like security guards. Security guards are some of the most dangerous minded fucking people on the planet.
Yeah.
Because they wear a similar uniform, but it's not the same. They don't have the same power, right? And they act as if they're all Johnny Badass. And if you have a security guard who's all geared up, standing right next to a cop, the cop's going to be like, get the fuck out of here, right? Well, look at these ICE guys. They're training 8 weeks, 47 days in some cases. There's articles that put out that the news was saying that several people made it through the training process without being fully screened and then said, ooh, you've got some things that'll disqualify you for this. I can't imagine for 1 second that you've got somebody who works in Minneapolis for 10 years, does the job as a professional, sees these hacks, these fucking hacks that can go around and shoot people for fucking anything, and they actually have respect for them. I think they have great disdain for them, and they're not like, ooh, it's ICE and bullet. And you're learning that, no, these are fucking clowns on the street right now, and they're destroying the cities.
Well, I compared them last night in a conversation to the mimic. So people don't understand how mimics work, okay? So I usually bring the trans thing. So when you've got a woman doesn't she's not all painted up like a clown when she goes out into the fucking public. She may wear a dress, she's put together. Her makeup looks like it belongs there. Her hair's done in a very respectable way. But then you've got these trans women. They're a mimic, and the mimic always goes too far. The mimic goes to the embellished end of what they're mimicking. And that's why you see the trans women that are mimicking real women. They've got a very embellished makeup paint scheme all over their face. Their fucking hair is in all sorts of wild colors and wild patterns and wild hues. Their clothing is that of a 6-year-old girl. Like, if you ever dreamt of wearing shit as a 6-year-old girl, they wear it all at the same time, all the fucking time. It's just the way they do. It's because the mimic goes further than the original. And I see that a lot in the ICE agents. When I see cops, now mind you, I have very little respect for fucking cops as people. I have respect for the duty and the responsibility and the danger, but the people that do the fucking job, I have very little respect for anymore, if any. But when I look at ICE agents and I compare those to the cops, because the cops are real, they actually do operate. I'm not gonna, just because I don't respect them, I don't like them, doesn't mean I'll fucking trash them. I see cops operating very professionally a lot of the time. Like, I do see them operating like, okay, just calm down, explain to me. And they're trying to de-escalate situations. They're not trying to, get everybody fired up or anything. They're trying to bring it all down so that we can get some information, let us handle this, blah, 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 blah. But then the ICE agents are the mimic. The ICE agents are the too far. They're the ones that never try to de-escalate. They just try to blow this motherfucker out of the water because of what you said earlier. I can get away with this legally, so I will. And it's the same reason I think that guy walked in front of Renee Good's fucking car, because he's like, fuck it, if she hits the gas, I'm going to shoot her.
I was terrified for my safety. It's South Park. They're coming straight for us.
Yeah.
Stop resisting. That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah. It's an episode of South Park where Kyle's uncle shows him how they get away with hunting endangered species. Well, we found all you got to do is yell, they're coming straight for us.
I know
that's
the
what
episode.
It is. Yeah.
I know the episode very well. Yeah. But I mean, it's insane. Now, let's go to, okay, so we've got the Renee Good thing, and obviously there's some shit that did not go right there. But, these ICE agents operate with impunity, and that's my problem with them. I love the fact that we're going to deport motherfuckers. I don't think we're actually doing that.
We align. I am 100% for deporting every single illegal immigrant there is. However, how you do it is the case, right? Just because it's like my views on like liberal ideology. I think free healthcare is amazing. I think free education is amazing. I know the value of when you give shit away for free. It really bastardizes stuff, lowers the quality, and then who the fuck is going to pay for it? So just because I like something doesn't mean I want it done. I want every illegal deported. Mm-hmm. But then the city would close down in a heartbeat, because who is going to do maintenance? Who is going to keep businesses running, restaurants, all the shit that we love? I'm sorry. The white, lazy fucking teen is not going to do the job that some 40-something-year-old Mexican guy with 5 kids is going to do, working 15, 16 hours a day. It's how you do it. So I want it done, but this was not the way for ICE to do it.
Well, and I did a video on that just the other day, just the comparison of, employment, where, just to sum it up, I said, everybody's that's fucking all these white boys, all these fucking American citizens, I'd never be a janitor. Fuck it. Let the illegals have the job. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but you with enough training can do any fucking job. Like, just about anybody can do just about anything with enough training. And that was proven by the fact of, like we mentioned earlier, when Trump was talking about the H-1B visas, and all the American citizens said, we can do the fucking job, just train us. But then when it comes to illegal immigrants and doing the jobs we don't want to do right now, let's be honest, I don't want to be a fucking janitor. I'm way above being a janitor. I'm sorry if you're a janitor, but you should have gotten a fucking skill. I'm not a janitor. But most people will have that outlook and say, that's why we need the illegals. No, that's why we just need the lower level fry cooks. We can have them. We have plenty of Americans that are fucking retarded. We have plenty of Americans that are completely talentless and skillless and don't want any skills or talents. So give them those jobs. But what's happening is we say, just give it to the illegals, not understanding that, if we fast forward 5 years, for that 5 years that you thought your employment, position at your company was safe, that Mexican has been training in it. So now, and 5 years later, the boss, the CEO, the whoever is going to say, you know what? We could save $35,000 a year on just his paycheck, his wages alone. If we just give this Mexican the job for $35,000 less, they'll be excited because it's a gigantic fucking raise from what they've been making as a janitor. But we save a fuck ton of money, and then somebody will be like, well, but what about his family? And then the corporations go, we don't give a fuck about his family. We're here for the bottom line. And so Americans are just giving giving away fucking jobs in the future for the comfort of not having to do the job right now. I think it would be a beautiful thing if America just full stop hit the fucking wall and got rid of every fucking illegal immigrant, every fucking low-end worker that didn't belong here. I think it'd be great because it would really wake some motherfuckers up. All these motherfuckers that you know, they work at a White Hen, but they're too good to be a janitor. They'd be being janitors real fucking quick style.
Yeah.
First thing I asked my uncle a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, you became a citizen, right? Because he was from Italy. Like, I just want to make sure you're not going to get deported. Yeah, I'm fine.
We don't deport Italians. It's only Mexicans. Come on. Well, Mexicans are everything below the southern border. You know, like that south border of the U.S. Everything below that to an American is Mexican. You know. So let's get into the Alex Preddy shit real quick, because the big thing about that is I don't want to get into all this. Well, he had interactions with him beforehand that went south and this and that. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. What I saw was a man laying on his stomach in the street with 7 agents mag dumping him. I think they fired 20 plus rounds in the middle of a fucking populated sidewalk. There was fucking kids in the videos, in the backgrounds. You could see these people. There was innocent bystanders, civilians in the background, and they were just mag dumping this motherfucker with no give a shit about ricochets. And mind you, you know as well as anybody, because you're trained in this shit. Ricochets happen real good when a lot of the time when you shoot at the street next to a brick building.
They had other officers in their line of sight when they were shooting.
How embarrassing is it that they took 7 guys to take down a string bean?
They took him down and then they executed him. And you have conservatives fuck around, find out, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And they backtracked to do everything they could to vilify the man. It's George Floyd all over again. I talk about and I defend him vehemently. As much as you can't stand George Floyd, that man was fucking a victim of a Fourth Amendment violation where it didn't matter. No, I said this to people. He wasn't murdered by Chauvin. No, he wasn't. But he was knelt on for 9 minutes like a fucking Serengeti African trophy that some hunter was posing for a video for, right? So during that first year, everybody condemned Chauvin. And it was a horrible optics. It looked the worst. All it took was 1 year. Oh, George Floyd held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach X amount of years ago. Then you get everybody and their mother defending. Well, his knee wasn't on the neck. It's like you're going to go so far. It's again, well, yeah, he fucked her, but he didn't rape her. That is how bad conservatives defend people. I don't give a shit that Alex Preddy, or whatever his name was, kicked out the taillight of a car the week prior. Use of force is in that moment. Did you arrest him? Was he criminally charged with criminal damage to government-supported property? Why not if that's the case? He showed up on scene. You can't. You know what? I don't endorse it because I don't like the gang violence, because truly, if you take those same ICE agents and you disarm them, take their masks off against the American people, those motherfuckers won't last for 5 minutes. But when you have a gang of 7 of them all masked up and in their gear and shit, they're the bullies. 7 on 1? 7 on 1. Yeah, you're going to get your punches and your kicks in, and you're going to pump several rounds into somebody executing them because you can and because the law is going to cover you. I was in fear for my safety. You were? We have and again, it comes back to the court of public opinion online with conservative Republicans. That's right. You can't screw around with these ICE agents. It's insane. And it's going to continue. That's the problem. And my biggest thing is, for all the dumb fucking conservatives who support this, do you think it's going to stop at liberals?
Right.
You think you do this and some ICE agent pulls you over because you're brown? Oh, no, I support ICE. They don't care. They'll rip you right out of the fucking car. They don't stop and say, who'd you vote for? Who'd you vote for?
What kind of American are you?
That's where it's coming. And
I think I truly believe that, because it's everywhere you go is division. And to touch on I was in fear for my safety. I was actually told that by a fucking cop. So I lived in, it was West Miltmore, but it was unincorporated Lake Villa. And we had a neighbor who was a fucking Section 8 piece of shit, fucking 9 people in the house. Well, they had these fucking pit bulls. And one of the pit bulls, I'm a pit bull person. Like, I just put my pit bull down, sadly. But I trust pit bulls, but except this one pit bull they had, and it chased motherfuckers up and down the road. Well, one day it put my wife back in the car with my fucking infant, with my daughter at the time. And so I called the fucking cops because I was going to walk out there and shoot it. But then I was like, oh, fuck, I'll probably go to fucking prison because I'm discharging a firearm and I've already got a record, this and that and the other thing. So I called the cop. The cop gets out there. By the time the cop had gotten out there, the dog had run away. We didn't know where it went. Well, the cop is like, he's like, you can plug it. You know, because I had said, I was like, I didn't know if I was going to plug it, but I, didn't. He's like, yeah, you can plug it. He's like, you can plug just about anybody you want, as long as they're facing you and you say, I was in fear for my safety and the lives of my family. That's all you have to say. Case closed. You can pop anybody you want. He literally said that to me.
That's how law enforcement is. You're trained after you discharge your firearm to immediately say, I need to go to the hospital. You go out and you say nothing. You don't talk to anybody. You wait for your lawyer, your union rep, all this stuff. And I was in fear for my safety. And the problem is if I was trained to say that, and I'll pat myself on the back, I am a tough, ruthless motherfucker. That's me. Well, when you start lowering the threshold to let in 4'11" females or guys whose estrogen level probably trumps their testosterone level, do you not think that they're going to be able to say I was in fear for my safety a lot quicker than I would, which means more American citizens are going to be killed at the hands of police and people will support it.
Well, we see it consistently with female officers. They always go right for the pistol.
All the time, and it's justified. We had 2 males in Aurora, Colorado, within a year, shoot unarmed men, and they were celebrated. Well, you shouldn't have attacked the cop like that. They were unarmed. You had a female in Mustang, I believe it's Indiana, shoot a man for walking towards her with a pair of gloves. And the police chief, well, it appeared as if his intent was to harm her. Did he? No. So now we're at pre-crime. Yeah. So now we're at the stage of pre-crime. It's get out fucking Tom Cruise, get the ball, and start putting people in those halos.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking incredible, and especially the fact that nobody really fucking sees what we actually need in order to stop violence is violent motherfuckers, men who are very good at violence, but have the fucking knowledge of how and when to use it. They're the ones that make the best cops, because every cop I've ever dealt with, and I've dealt with all of them, every cop I've ever dealt with, when they walked up to me, especially back in the day when I was the fucking shot caller for a fucking skin organization, they knew exactly who the fuck I was and who the fuck was around me and what we were capable of. When they approached me calm and cool and collected, I was like, okay, this motherfucker knows how to handle business. He's not worried about this. So let's just be real with him. Let's be cool with him. He's got a job to do. I got a job to do. Your job is cop. My job is criminal. Let's do it this way. But man, anytime a woman came up to me, it was attitude right out of the fucking gate. Like, I had a woman cop walk up to my fucking car one day, and she goes, just before anything, she goes, just so you know, I am armed and I will use it if you make me. Why are we? I literally asked her. I was like, "Why are we starting the conversation like this?" She got me more mad. Like then it got to the point where I was like, "This bitch is gonna." I looked at my buddy in the back seat or the passenger seat while she was at the window. I was like, "This bitch is gonna plug me if I fucking don't cooperate."
If you were in Lakeville at the time, it was probably my coworker.
That was Annie or Zion. That one in particular, back in the day. Yeah. So. We've gotten through all this shit, so we know that Renee Good's situation, it was a fuck show. It didn't need to happen that way, but they'll get off because of legal impunity for federal law enforcement. Same shit with Alex Preddy. Is there anything that you could offer, any sort of advice or insight that you could offer the masses as to say, know your shit? Like what can we as people do to stop the debacle? And when something like this happens, how do we, the people, stop this bullshit from spreading so far and so fast and making a bigger shit show out of it?
No, you can't. I'll throw all of us under the bus here. When's the last time you went to a town hall, village hall meeting on your own residence where you live?
Never been.
Yeah, I went to one about a year ago. And that's why, because we all focus on what happens on a federal level, but all of us, I live in a municipality that's got 60,000 people. And I went to a village hall meeting on a Monday night. I'm like, I got to start going to these. And I actually went, and there were 13 audience members. 12 were municipal workers who were there to kind of present things after work. Fire chief, police chief, this and that, so public works. And I'm like, I'm the only resident who's here. No one cares. So we all get upset when you really think about it, like on this illegal immigrant shit, doesn't affect my life.
Yeah.
The outrage of this doesn't affect my life. The Epstein files doesn't affect my life. Every issue they bring forward that I'm supposed to be outraged over doesn't affect my life. It's like, so they what is that saying? And don't get me wrong. Yes, hypocrisy affects me. I don't want my government raping children and getting away with it. That's beyond vile. But it's hard to be focused when you're confused. Yeah. Every time. And we're gonna, this Preddy and Renee Good shit, 2 weeks from now, nobody's gonna remember. Just the same way that nobody remembered about the Vegas shooter, Balenciaga with selling cabinets for $15,000 with suspicious kids' names on it, and
they're all the same cabinet.
Yeah, every other tragedy out there. Wasn't there a bombing at a post office that was near a place where some voters were being tabulated? It's like no one cares about shit anymore. So it's very hard to be focused when your dopamine, adrenaline, and cortisol are always being spiked by doom scrolling. So they've got us on a Ferris wheel of outrage, faux outrage, and we just don't know what to be focused on next.
Well, it's like Oprah. You know, Oprah was at Epstein's Island fucking all the fucking time.
Like,
and how many people how many children got abducted from
John of God?
Yeah, they got kidnapped from her African school, and they never found them. I wonder why.
Yeah, and I was one of those guys that fell down the QAnon hole years ago, and I remember looking. It's like Ellen DeGeneres is wearing an ankle monitor. Oprah is what you could see this shit clear as fucking day under their pants. I'm like, what is this? Now nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck.
No.
Yeah. Dave, you got anything to add to this?
Yeah, it was either to touch on that ankle monitor. It was either that or now the newest thing. I see a lot of celebrities, they wear a boot now, and it's just like, well, that's kind of weird. Why are y'all wearing boots? You know, it's probably the same fucking thing. It's just
we back then, man. That was, I remember being like up when the Comfort and the Mercy were on either side of the country, and I was refreshing Twitter every 5 minutes. Look at the John Podesta kids who are being trafficked from underground, and they're all now chimera human kids. And to be honest, well, that was 2000. It's like we're 6 years later. I believe that was the greatest fucking, hey, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain shit. That probably happened. Mm-hmm. We all were told we're stupid, and now it's coming out again, and they're going, no. Well, yeah, Bill Clinton wants to testify. No, I like Bill. It's like we are being told everything, and then it's the Mona Lisa, right? She's got the smile because somebody's got a hand up finger in her asshole. That's what we're doing, and the government's good at it.
Yeah, it's a fucking it's a fucking wild ride that people just, and people just simply just don't understand, or they refuse to understand is the more accurate term. People refuse to understand that it's a club and we ain't fucking in it, just like George Carlin said. And club members never punish other club members. So all of everything you fucking see, I want to see people perp walk. It ain't never gonna fucking happen. Go to your local town hall meeting. I want to see motherfuckers get fucking, like the Dom Lemon thing. I want to see him arrested, and I'm like, it ain't gonna happen. They might arrest him, but he ain't gonna fucking face nothing. And everybody's like, oh, blah, blah, blah.
Don Lemon was accused graphically of raping a man years ago. He was in a bar, and a man walked up to him, and Don Lemon, the accusation is Don Lemon stuck his hand down the front of this man's pants and grabbed his genitalia and pulled. Nothing ever happened to Don Lemon.
Yeah. Club members don't punish club members.
Nope.
So, all right. Well, it's that time of the show. if you guys want to help me out, get these words out, get these truths out, you can follow me at Savagely Loud. This is where on Instagram is where I'm most active. On that page, you're going to find 2 links. One of those links is to the Savagely Loud podcast page. If you could please follow me there, it'd be greatly appreciated. The other link you're going to find is a simple link tree. Anywhere you want to see my bullshit or hear my rants, you can find it there easy peasy. Outside of that, Facebook, X, and Rumble at Savagely Loud, YouTube at Savagely Loud Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe. And yes, I'm trying my hardest to do better on that. We're getting more involved with that. And don't forget to like, comment, and share the material, rate, and review the shows. Dave, let them know where they can find you.
All right, guys. You can find me on social media at The Hammer Drops. I'm heavily active over there on Instagram and Facebook. There's some links in the bio. Again, one takes you to the website, another one takes you to a link tree. Also, I have a link that will take you to the Savagely Loud podcast as well. Don't forget to like, share, and rate this content in the show so we can get out and break those algorithms.
Mr. Dominick Izzo, my friend, my brother, the only one of the only ones that you actually don't mind when I call you brother. I appreciate the ever-loving fuck out of you. I love your perspective on things. I love the insight that you bring to not only my brain, but everybody else's brain that watches you, because you do come from a place that we don't know. Us normal motherfuckers, we just don't have this insight. So thank you very much for giving it to us. Let everybody know where they can find you before we get to Hopelessly Human.
Guys, you can go check out coptalklive.org. That's coptalklive.org. You can watch me live every Tuesday and Friday on YouTube at Cop Talk Live. I do police law enforcement breakdowns, body camera review footage, and I support the police, but I condemn bad cops very, very aggressively.
And that is one of the main reasons I absolutely love you to death. All right, it's that time of the show, guys. We've been down in it. We got all into the weeds, and we don't want to walk away all amped up and ramped up. So let's remind ourselves that humanity still does exist within humans with a little segment I like to call Hopelessly Human, and it starts a little bit like...
People can be rough. They can be quite tough. They can get in the way, but at the end of the day, some aren't only stupid, some are hopelessly human.
Oh, hell yeah, they are. Some are hopelessly human, and this one's no different. This one comes from brightside.me, and it's labeled, "So poor, I never had lunch. At 13, I was so poor I never had lunch. A classmate noticed and started bringing me food every day. That same year, she vanished, and I never saw her again. 15 years later, I was working at a police station when I saw her name scheduled for questioning. When she came in, I froze. It was obvious she had been crying for days. She sat down and started answering questions from my colleague. Her husband had gone missing, and she was completely shattered. I made sure that she didn't see me. I didn't want my presence to interfere with the investigation. A few days later, the case was closed. Her husband had left of his own free will, moving to another country to start a new life. She was heartbroken and alone. I couldn't let her go through this without support, so I reached out and I told her who I was, that I was the classmate she had once helped. The moment she recognized me, we embraced. It was emotional, like reconnecting with a long-lost piece of the past. Since then, I've visited her regularly just to check in and make sure she's okay. And she was there for me when I had nothing, and now I'm there for her." So that is Hopelessly Human. That is the show. Later, guys.